Now you might have all also noticed, are you a noticer like me? You might have also noticed I had some screws here. I've got 1 1/4 inch, 1 5/8, 2 inch, and these are coarse drywall screws, okay? See, these are 2 inch, and see there, coarse thread. I always like to use coarse thread into wood. You can get these with fine threads too. If you get some with fine threads, they're really not supposed to be used for wood. Okay, you can in a pinch, but I always like to try to get the coarse ones because usually when you're working in residential conditions, you've got mainly wood that you're dealing with all the time. And I use these for all kinds of stuff. Usually I carry 1 1/4 inch, 1 5/8, 2 inch, 2 1/2, 3 inch. And did you know these types of drywall screws, you can even get them as short as 1 inch. And I'm like, I don't know why anybody would ever use 1 inch, but once upon a time, a few months ago, well, about a year ago, I needed some 1 inch, believe it or not. The 1 1/4 were too long for what I was using. Went to the store, son of a gun, they had 1 inch. And so I'm gonna use these for the mounting bracket. And if you remember, you saw that plastic anchor up there, see that? And I don't know where my mounting screws are. When I took that out, I put all my screws together, and son of a gun, I'm not sure exactly where they're at now. And I think the sheetrock screws can work in there. And remember, that other hole goes up into a wood joist. That one right there goes up into a wood joist. So I can screw that, and that other one I should be able to screw in there fine. I'm gonna test it out. And I'm pretty sure just a regular sheetrock screw will go up in that plastic anchor up there. And I'm just gonna, let's see where we at. Let's just, I'm just gonna get up there and check it out. I'm pretty sure this drywall screw will screw up in there. Yeah, see? It's funny too, if you look at a plastic anchor like that, you would think a really super big screw goes in there, but not so. Not so, okay? So that's the first thing I'm gonna do is put this bracket up, and geez, maybe I'll just kind of hold it up there now and go ahead and do it, eh? Let's see here. Oh, and these wires, I believe, are the light switch is turned off. I'm gonna have to check that here. I don't really like working on hot light fixtures, hot wires. You really shouldn't work with hot wires. Granted, I got the wire nuts on there in case anybody hit the light switch from before. And I'm not even sure. I think that light is hooked up to some other lights in the kitchen. So I've got all the light switches turned off, I believe. Now, I've got my wire tester. I think probably, well, I don't have to do that right now. I'm just holding this up here first. Like so, and I gotta see, okay, I gotta see where I've done that. It's probably right in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure, yeah, because see my screws for this are facing this direction, and I look at the light fixture, and I'm pretty sure that's what I want. Before I get rambunctious, let's just look at that here real quick. You see there's 2 screws on there, and as I hold it up there, I want them going that direction. I don't want them coming out this direction because I want this facing this direction once it gets up there. Okay? And so everything looks fine. Hey, worst case scenario, all you'd have to do is undo your screw, your little bracket later, if you had to, you know. And so I'm just gonna get up here. And screw this puppy in. And I'm not gonna use my my drill for this or anything. I see there's two holes up there, but I'm pretty sure it's that one and not that. Yeah, pretty sure about that. That looks pretty good right in there. And I already checked this to make sure there was wood, and there is. And that's why I'm only using the inch, and a quarter screw. And that's not in there very far, but I think it's good enough. This light fixture, as long as I can get it snug, and it snugs up just fine. Okay, now I got two little screws in here, and see, this little bracket needs to be slid over a little bit, and I believe that's what this is here. See, I can take this and slide that exactly where I need it, and I want it about like that. See, whoever installed this last had that slightly askew. Okay, I guess I can do that one a little. Hold that. Line that up. I'm gonna stand down here and kind of look at that and kind of mimic this. That looks pretty straight, right like that. And if you really wanted to check it, you can take your tape measure. I'm going to measure over from the wall. As long as you're holding the tape exact, pretty straight. 60 and 15/16. And now I can hold it over there. That's 7/8, 60 and 7/8. Oh, that's pretty darn close. This could be slid over just ever so little. I'll check it again. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Right there. And now I can tighten up this screw right there. Okay. That's your first step. Okay. Now granted, not all light fixtures are mounted this way. I would not recommend mounting it this way. If you were in a brand new house, I would highly recommend that you install that in a plastic ceiling box, metal box, whatever, before you install your sheetrock. But as it is, this is what I got to work with, and I showed you, explained to you, if you wanted to put a pancake box up in there, you can. Okay? All right, ready for my next step. And what is that? Well, I got to get this light fixture prepared before I put it up there. All right, ready for that. I'm just gonna turn this around here, and I wanna look at these wires and get the kinks out. And mind you, this is just stranded wire, and which means there's lots of little pieces of wire, and then they twist it together. And so the ends of these, I'm just gonna twist and make sure they're all together, straighten it out, because they're gonna go up in that wire nut. Okay. I could strip those wires back just a hair, because they're going into yellow wire nuts. Okay, maybe I'll do that just for kicks. That way I can take the wire, because see, right now I only got about 3/8 sticking out. That way I can take the wire and kind of wrap it around the other one, just slightly. Okay, so I'm just taking off a little bit, I like to pinch it with the shorter one, and then I don't try to pull it off on that one, because if I get the wrong number on here, I could pull off some of those strands. So I kind of crease it, and then I go into a bigger one and see if I can't pull it off, and I did. Okay, and I didn't pull off any of the strands. If you end up pulling off any of the strands, that's really not a good thing, right? Okay, I do that. Okay, so that's pretty much ready, Freddy, to go up there. And now I'm going to get back up there. I'm going to test those wires. I'm going to test the wires with my wire tester. And actually, before I go up there with my wire testers, it's always kind of a good idea to get into the habit of testing out your wire tester. Make sure your wire tester is working. Look at this. I got some cover plates to put on. See there? I know it's working because the orange light's on. Could you imagine if your tester wasn't working and you went up and you were doing something like a light fixture or a electrical outlet somewhere, and you're thinking, and you're testing it, and then you find out your tester's bad only because you go to strip a wire or something that shocks the bajunior out of you. Okay, so I'm gonna get up here. I think you can see it from where you're at, can't you? Oh, maybe not. Oh, look at that. I was shining you on the sprinkler in the condo. Fortunately for us, they got sprinklers in the condo. Fire sprinklers. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna carefully take these off, and I'm gonna test this really quick. I'm pretty sure I've got it off. Yeah, I got it off. I'm curious now what light switch that is on. Oh, I think it might, you know what? It might, it's probably that very first one. Okay, I turn the light switch on that I think it is for, and sure enough, I can see the orange light. I don't know if you can see it from there. Do you see it? Okay. Whatever you do when you're working with electrical, make sure your power's off. And it cracks me up because I usually just turn it off right at the light switch. And some people say, hey Joe, you really don't have the power off all the way. You probably should turn that off from the breaker. And technically, I think they're right on that, because you still should have power going to the neutral wire. You know, even though you can't test it with anything, because it makes a loop, and lots of times your white wire could have power to it. All right. Okay, but mine doesn't, and I'm okay. Okay, so my next step is to get up there with the light fixture and connect those wires. Black to black, white to white, and ground to ground. See, you can do this. Okay, so I got to get up there. This fixture is kind of heavy to a certain extent. I mean, not that heavy, but once I get up there, it's only going to be connected with the wires. You know what I mean? And it's going to be hanging until I can lift it up there and screw it in all the way. And what I'm going to want to do is kind of look at this and see which way to have this. And I've got some writing up here, and I think I want that label on that back side. I can always adjust these heads however I want. There's a way to swivel them and adjust them, and there's a little set screw on them and all that kind of good stuff. And see, I got to hold this up here with one hand and try to wrap it with the other hand and hope that I don't drop this whole thing. And I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be all right. See, I should kind of get up here with my taller ladder. See, I might have to hold it like this. I could wrap it around my finger, let's say. Oh, there we go. Do that. And now I can attach that wire. That's my ground wire. Okay. There. That kind of worked out pretty good. Okay. Pull on that a little bit. And this one, it's connected to a wire nut, so I gotta be kind of careful with that. Kind of keeping the pressure off it. See, I can kind of hold it up here like that. And remember, I stripped that wire just a little bit longer, and so now I can kind of wrap it around just the end and get that one. Boy. Now what I could have done is I had a taller ladder in here. See, I'm still kind of hanging on to the weight of this. I guess I want to twist this over this way. And I'm going to hang on to this whole light fixture with my hand. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Boy. Give it some good twist, make sure it's on there tight. In this particular light fixture, I could have used orange wire nuts, which are one size smaller than that, but they had yellows, and so there you go, like that, okay? I don't have too much weight on the white and black wire. The main weight is on this ground wire. I just have to kind of be careful with that. Okay, now I got to get my my little screws. Let's see if I can't get back up there with one of these little screws. And I'm just gonna kind of angle this stuff into a circle. Okay. Just kind of tilt it around. Act as though it's going into an electrical outlet box, let's say. Okay. And then I can push this up there. And it looks like it's going to go. Oh, good grief. Okay. Wow. It's right up there tight to the sheetrock ceiling. Wow. Gotta hold my mouth just right. Get that screw up in there. Good Lord. Okay, I got it. No, I don't have it. There it goes. I'm hoping to get that other side. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I just want to get it a little bit. Okay. Okay. There's one. Oh, look at that. Boy, that's not good. I should have positioned myself a different direction. Okay. Let's get you reset up here, just so you can kind of see what I'm monkeying around with here, huh? I'm gonna raise you up here a little bit too. Okay. I'm hoping that I didn't just bend that bracket. I don't think I did. push that up. Push it up tight. And see if that's gonna hold up there. It should. It should hold up there. I gotta push that other side up tight. It probably should have been in a box, but hey, it wasn't in a box before, and it was just, this is how it was, just like this. That's how it was. I think that'll work. Okay, and I'll go around on this side here, double check it. It's a little, it seems to be a little wobbly up there, but it's never gonna come down. It's never gonna come down. There. Okay. And now I'm going to turn it on, and I believe one of the lights is burned out from before, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken here. Okay. I'm going to turn it on. Yep, see? One light's burned out. Isn't that a shame? Oh well. Now, if you didn't want it exactly in that angle, you could redirect and redirect that bracket on the inside. Of course, you'd have to undo the screws and slide it over. See, I thought it was going to be a little bit straighter. I'm going to look at it this way. Look at it this way and see if I like it like that. See, I kind of want the head to be over a little bit further, and I want that head to be over that way a little bit further, I believe. You know, even though the bracket seemed like it was straight, and I think that's how the last person had it, but I think I want the mounting screws kind of off sideways a little bit. I may have to monkey around with it a little and undo those screws again and see what I can't do. You know, I can swivel that little bracket, remember? I can loosen it up, swivel it, tighten it back up, and I can do it with the wires still being connected, and I shouldn't have to mess with it because I actually think I want it to where that is lined up. I don't know. Mommy's not here, and so I've got to make a corporate decision. Whatever decision, you know, whatever decision I make, she's probably going to want it slightly different. But I think the best thing for this, see how that thing's kind of at an angle that way? I want it to go straight that way. Son of a gun. Okay, well, because that bracket is swivelable, you can place yours however you want. And like I say, all of these can be angled however you want. When Momi gets home, I'll angle those exactly how she wants. And then this one here, I'll have to get a new head, and I'll turn the light off. And I believe just the metal housing on the outside has threads on it, and I think you just unscrew it and then that kind of pops down. You'll be able to figure it out, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to check that out a little bit and show you what it looks like when I'm done. Oh, it cracked me up. I had to get my 8-foot ladder out so I could finagle that up there. And do you remember I had to loosen that from before and twist it so it was straight? I thought somebody had a crooked eyeball or something. Well, there was a reason why they had it crooked, right? Is so that could line up. And I twisted it over as far as I could, hitting the electrical wire coming out of the wall. Look at that, nice and straight now, isn't it? That's what I kind of wanted, but like I say, you could flip that around any old direction at an angle, however you wanted, with that little S deal, and with those little eyeball lights. I call them eyeball lights. They're halogen lights, and I think I might be able to upgrade those to an LED halogen, or an LED light that looks like halogen. I'm not quite sure because I've never done that before. I've taken halogens and changed them to like some of those halogen bulbs. You can get them 50 watt and 35 watt, I believe. And lots of times I would take 50s and change them to 35s. But nowadays, and that was years ago, nowadays, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can get a halogen size bulb like these and get them in LEDs. And if so, I'm probably going to change these to LEDs because that would take way less electricity than these halogens. All right? Next time you're at the store, check that out and see for yourself. All right, I guess I'm done for this little project. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Of course I'll always be back here with more videos. I don't know what else I would do. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you subscribe. Now, what am I going to talk about next time? Well, next time might have to do with this burned out halogen. You never know. Keep watching. The more you watch, the more you learn.